Hi everybody and welcome to our video breakdown of the Star Trek Discovery Season 4 trailer. I'm Sean Ferrick for Trek Culture and this has been a wonderful weekend for Comic-Con and for news and all of the fun. So let's dive straight into it. Here are 10 things you missed in the Star Trek Discovery Season 4 Comic-Con trailer. Number 10, big ass anomaly. The big threat for this season is going to be like V'ger cloud level of threat. This anomaly is said to be 5 light years wide and is going to be threatening all life in the galaxy because we're used to big stakes at this point. This is what this show does. It seems that the Discovery itself is going to be the one to discover this anomaly. Either that or Book's ship are going to come into contact with it first. They are bringing the news of this to the Starfleet Council back and the beautiful Starfleet headquarters that we saw in Season 3. There's been a lot said about, it's always a big, massive world, universe-ending threat with this show, and yeah, there is something to be said for, hey, maybe just give us a can or something. I think as well, this is what we're used to now at Discovery. This is the bread and butter of what Discovery does. They react well to these massive crises. So I think this is going to be a really good test of the first season of Captain Burnham. We've always seen her in various different roles of responsibility before, but she's going to be in charge of the entire ship and the entire crew at this point, and it being Star Trek Discovery, the entire universe, if she doesn't manage to blow this bloody thing up. I think we're in for a heck of a ride and a heck of a test for Captain Burnham this season. Number 9. Returning supporting characters. Now, outside of the crew of Discovery, we are getting back, as we saw in this trailer, we're getting David Cronenberg back again, which just makes me happy because I love saying the words David Cronenberg. I just think they sound really good. We're also getting back Tarina, who is of course the president of Ni'Var. And by extension, we're getting Ni'Var back as well. And that's something I'm going to come back to now in a second. There's also a very short shot of Gabriel Burnham on Book's ship. And there's a lot of Co-op Malat characters returning as well. Now, of course, one of the things that I'm most excited about is that Admiral Vance is back. Oded Fehr will be reprising his role in Season 4, which makes me very happy. He's that exact kind of gruff, cool, just head of Starfleet that I am so here for. I was really impressed with him in Season 3 and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with him in Season 4. Number 8, lots of aliens. In that shot in the Federation Starfleet headquarters, we get a great example of just loads of different aliens. We're getting Orions, we see Tellarites, we see the President, who is of course a Cardassian, Bajoran and human mix, according to Michelle Paradis. We see Osnullus as well. And also, we see a 32nd century Ferengi. Outside of this, in the rest of the trailer, we get more Vulcans are coming back, we're getting more Romulans, Co-op Malat. It looks like it's going to be a smorgasbord of just different alien species this season. And of course, that's half the fun of Star Trek, is seeing the human characters interacting with the rest. Presumably as well, with the return of Saroo, we're going to see a bit of time on Kaminar, so hopefully loads more Kelpians to enjoy. Number 7, that redesign. It's been barely 24 hours since the release of the trailer and the recording of this breakdown, and already the Star Trek fandom has somewhat exploded. The redesign of the Ferengi in the 32nd century has enraged some people and excited others. Frankly, I think it looks cool. Thanks to our friends over at TrekCore for this one. The redesign of the Ferengi is actually a very clever callback to the original design by Andrew Probert from 1987 with that little pointed ear. And of course, as we saw in DS9 with characters like Zek and Ishka, there wasn't exactly a one-size-fits-all look for the Ferengi. There's been a lot said about wouldn't it be cool, because this Ferengi is seen with captain's bars, so wouldn't it be cool if this Ferengi was the captain of the USS Nog, which I'm so here for. I'm delighted that we're getting a Ferengi in Star Trek Discovery. I'm loving the fact that legacy races are being brought in now that they can, now that we've gone into the future, there's no problem. And also there's 800 or 900 years of time has passed between, the events of say Next Gen up to Picard and the events of Star Trek Discovery. let's just be a little open to change, shall we? And, you know, let's just have a bit of fun. Number 6, Saroo and Burnham together. Saroo is returning, thank God, because we love Doug Jones. And also, Saroo is returning at the rank of captain, and yet they are both on the Discovery together as it leaves Federation headquarters. So what does this mean? Now, I don't think there's going to be a co-captaincy going on. I don't think they're going to go that route. I think we're going to stick specifically to Captain Burnham, with Saroo potentially being either an advisor or maybe some sort of representative. Because Saroo is wearing a lovely decorative little brooch there, whereas nobody else is wearing anything at that part of the uniform. So that could signify that he's got a new role on the Discovery for this season. Saroo and Burnham have always been a good foil for each other and a good support for each other as well. So Nico Martin Green and Doug Jones just have this brilliant chemistry between each other. So it would have been, in my opinion, a serious mistake for Doug Jones to not be a part of the show this year. I did get worried when Saroo went off to Kaminar at the end of season 3, I won't lie. Delighted to see them back. I'm really interested now to see how they address that relationship. They are both of equal rank. With Burnham being in command of the Discovery, that would put her a step up over anyone else, captain of the mission. We will see how that goes. Now, if the last 3 seasons of Star Trek Discovery are anything to go by, we're going to see some conflict. And you know what? I'm here for it. Number 5, Lieutenant Sylvia Tilly. Now, if you look closely, Tilly has had a promotion. And this is pretty bloody awesome. I feel very bad for Harry Kim. I mean, you know, Tilly technically has only been serving for 3 years in Starfleet and has been promoted to lieutenant, whereas Harry Kim served for 7 years and presumably many more years after getting home as an ensign. You feel bad for him, you do. However, I feel bloody great for Tilly because she has been tested like few other ensigns have ever been tested. She has shown herself so capable of stepping up to the mark. She served as first officer in season 3. So, you know, frankly, I would have bumped her up maybe to lieutenant commander, but hey, that's just me. Mary Wiseman has been such a critical part of Star Trek Discovery since the beginning, and I am delighted to see that at least Tilly is being given more responsibility. I hope this means we'll get to see Mary Wiseman in more scenes of responsibility as well. There is, you know, there's hints in the trailer that maybe she's going to be leading groups, certainly away teams. There's you know, signs where she's being supportive to Adira, where she's on a planet. They're all firing phasers. It's great time. I am just delighted to see that this character is being given a bit of recognition, a bit of development, and again, so here for it, so on board the Tilly train. Number 4, ignoring warnings. Now listen, it wouldn't be Star Trek Discovery if there wasn't some disobeying of orders going on, because that's what we've got used to, and like it or love it, that's what Star Trek Discovery is going to bring to the table. There is a scene where Tilly just asks over her shoulder, "We're going to ignore that warning, aren't we?" And Burnham just goes, I love it, because we're used to it. This is what they do. Now, look, there's a lot been said about, you know, kind of reckless nature of particularly Burnham and also the Discovery itself. And yeah, okay, this is not your next gen Star Trek. This is not your, well, okay, the original series, they were making up rules whatever they wanted, left, right and center. So we won't be looking at Kirk when we're looking at this comparison. But when you look at things like Picard, you know, who was, you know, fastidious when it came to rule following. And then you have a look at Burnham, who thinks rule following is a really lovely idea, but we'll talk to you later on. It was jarring initially, but I'm so used to it now that this is like, okay, yeah, cool. So presumably they're going to be told, you know, maybe don't fly straight into this anomaly, and away they go, because that's what they do. They're heroes. That's what this Star Trek offers. There is a lot to be said for there's a little less nuance in Star Trek Discovery than there is in many of the other ones, but I think at this point, by season 4, we know what Discovery is, and we know what to expect from this show. Frankly, I hope this line is dropped in episode 1, and we just get on with it, because we know we're going to, so let's just have a lot of fun along the way. Number 3, Adira, Gray, Stamets, and Culber. we know that we've been promised a corporeal body for Grey this season, and Ian Alexander is in the trailer. We're going to get more Adira and more of this family unit with Culber and Stamets. And it was one of the nice things about season 3 is to see this family developing together. Culber is going to be taking on double duties this season as both Chief Medical Officer and Ship's Counselor, which, you know, yeah, I get it. Because Culber really stepped up in season 3, you know, to become one of, I would say, the main core cast of people. Considering Culber has pulled a Spock and come back from the dead, Culber's got some pretty good, you know, insights on life. Stamets, I feel, is going to need both development this season and a bit of help. Because if you remember, one of the last things that happened to him is that he was covered in a force field and blasted out of Discovery by Burnham. Now, it was done 100% in a smart way. He was the key that turned on the spore drive. Get him out of there and Osira can't have the spore drive. Good idea. Stamets has at times been written as quite one-dimensional, and I really hope they don't waste a lot of time with Stamets v Burnham in this season. I hope that he can see that what she did was for the greater good. I feel that if there's one person who can help him come to that understanding, it's Culber. And with the pair of them having to look after Adira and Grey as surrogate parents, I feel, hopefully, that this will only benefit the character overall. Adira, looking forward to seeing much more of their story. We get to see them on away missions with Tilly, we get to see them interacting with other crew, and I'm here for it. Give the crew as much to do as possible. Season 3 went a lot further for that than, say, seasons 1 or 2 did, of getting the crew to do more, such as, you know, Detmer, Owusa-Kon, you know, more of these characters as well. Let's branch out, and it looks like, just from the trailer, it looks like we're going to get that. Number 2, Book will suffer. David Ajala's back and he doesn't smile an awful lot in this trailer. There's one scene where he's in the spore drive control room and he looks like he's in excruciating pain. He's crying, they're running around Quai-Jean, which is his home world, and, you know, wondering if maybe something bad is going to happen there. And Book is great. I don't want Book to suffer. Look, there's Grudge. Let's give Grudge a cuddle. I wonder if Book is going to take on the O'Brien role of, you know, every season in DS9 it was O'Brien must suffer. Is this going to be Book's cross to bear now? I hope not. We'll see anyway, so fingers crossed it's only one episode of pain for him, but David Ajala just has one of those faces that makes you want to cry when you see him in pain. No. Number 1. Discovery is back, November 18th. Star Trek Discovery is pushing the franchise forward in new directions, and it's really it's benefiting Star Trek as a whole in that it's seriously upping the game when it comes to the visuals. The music is absolutely beautiful, and love it or hate it, the redesigns are giving it its own unique flavor as well. I am very excited for this season because I feel that Star Trek is really starting to find its feet with Discovery. Season 3, I think it knew what it was. So I think going into season 4, I think that's only going to benefit even more. Not everyone is going to love it. That's okay. If we all loved every single little thing, would there be nothing to talk about, would there? They'd just be like, hey, I like this episode. Did you? Yeah, great. Okay, cool. Next. We all want to see ships go to warp. We want to see some mind melds. We want to see some Ni'Var. We want to see some, you know, we got Cardassians, Bajorans. We want to see it all. So let's just try and have a good time with this season. In the meantime, everyone, look after yourselves. Have a bit of fun. Watch Star Trek. Thank you very much for watching our video today. If you reckon I missed anything in this trailer, drop it into the comments below. I nearly forgot Grudge! We have Grudge! Grudge is amazing! Now, if there's anything you think I forgot, throw it into the comments below. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Remember, you can catch us over on Twitter at Trek Culture. You can catch myself at Sean Ferrick on all the usual socials. You look after yourself until I see you again. You live long and prosper. You're awesome. Thanks.